In this video tutorial about new Google Sites, we're going to cover publishing a site. So at any time after you've created a site, you will have the ability to publish the site, which is this blue rectangle button in the top right of your screen. When you publish a site, the site will be made live. That is to say, it will be made available for your audience to access it and view it and interact with it. So there's no rush to publish the site. You can build for as long as you want, and it will save the changes that you are making as you build the site. And when you feel the site is ready to be published, that's when you're going to head up here and hit that publish button. You can also share editing rights with other users before publishing. Keep in mind that only after you hit publish are the changes that you've made and the pages that you've built going to be available for your audience to find and access. So, assuming we've built a site and we love that site and we're ready to make that site go live, we're going to go up here, we're going to hit the publish button. Now, the first time you hit the publish button, you will be presented with some options and some things that you need to fill out. So we're going to hit the publish button right now. And the biggest decision I have to make is what is my URL going to be and who can see the site. So our new Google Sites has a pretty clean URL. All of the Google Sites that you build with new sites will be sites.google.com/smcps.org/whatever you decide to type in here. Now, this does not need to be the name of your site. It does not need to be the full name of your site. If you can keep it short and simple and easy to remember, that's definitely a good idea. And it will check and see if that name is available. Now, since this is the early days of Google Sites, there's plenty of URLs to choose from. Later on, as more and more users are creating sites, you will not be able to have something as simple as science. Sort of like the early pioneers, this is a great time to stake claim to some cool URLs. Now, I know that classic sites users have used a number of URL services like tinyURL and Bitly to create short and sweet custom URLs to access their site. You can still use those services here. So after we've selected and had a little blue check mark of approval over our URL name, we need to go down here and decide who can access the site, who can visit it and view it on the internet. By default, all of the SMCPS new Google Sites are defaulted to anyone at smcps.org. That includes student accounts. So students and teachers and support staff that have an smcps.org email, Gmail email, as long as they're logged into their account in a Chrome browser, they will be able to go here and access the site. The other option is anyone on the web. This is to say anyone in the whole world with an internet connection can visit your site. If you were to click this box right here, in addition to anyone on the web or anyone at SMCPS, it would also populate search results with your site. So it would submit your site to like a Google search engine search. So if you had a site about calculus and somebody was looking for a calculus website, there's a chance that your site would show up in their search. Now, classic sites users, you're probably saying, well, how do I limit who has access to my site to a specific list of people? Well, at the time of this video, which is December of 2016, these are the only options you have for an audience. You can either have everyone at smcps.org or anyone on the web. Those are your only two options. So, with that in mind, certain classic sites that had confidential information or IEP information, things that were classified, things that could only be viewed by a certain set of people, New Sites is not necessarily the best platform for that content. Certainly, you could create a new Google site, and it could allow you to see content that was stored on Google Drive, content that is controlled by the share settings of Google Drive. But whatever text you put, whatever pictures you put on the page, those will be viewable by anybody that gets to the page, which is everyone at SMCPS or anyone on the web. Your only two options right now. If you would like to request page level permissions or specific group permissions or even specific user permissions, you're going to go to the bottom left where there's a exclamation mark inside a conversation box. You're going to click on that and it'll take you to New Sites Feedback, and you can request that page level permissions be re-added to new sites, that sort of thing. So, continuing on, we're very limited in our options for audience. We've said that a couple times. So whatever we decide to choose, we're going to go down and hit this publish button, and that commits. We're committing to this URL and this audience. So I'm going to hit publish, and it starts publishing the site. So now that the site has been published, an extra button appears next to the publish button that has publish options. So at any time we can go in and change our settings. So we could change our URL, we can change our audience, and we could change whether or not we are accessible in search engines. We can also view our published site, which opens it in a new tab, exactly as if we had visited it on the internet. And this is very cool because this is a great place to go and copy our URL so that we can paste it other places. So paste it into an email, paste it into a text or a chat, hyperlink it from another site. This is a great place to get the real, true URL for your website. This is different than previewing because right now we are actually at the website. This is how the website is for the audience, 100%, not a preview. This is the real website. And when you are logged into Chrome and you visit a site that you have editing rights to, there will be a little pencil inside a gray circle in the bottom right that allows you to jump right into editing mode from the website. So that's a cool little feature. Now, maybe you've made a site, you've published it, but it turns out you published it too soon, or you just are not supposed to have published it at all. You can go to Publish Options and you can unpublish a site. Now, when you unpublish a site, that site will not be available on the internet anymore. See? It is gone. In order to make the site republished, we'd have to go through the same steps we just went through. We'd have to publish, we'd have to choose a URL. If our URL was taken while our site was unpublished, we would have to choose a new URL, and we would choose our audience and then publish it again. So after I publish a site, can I continue to build my site, make changes to my site, all that good stuff? Absolutely. So the site's been published. Users will be able to access it now. But I decide, you know what? I need to remove this creepy picture. So I can delete it and then hit publish again. If I go over and reload the site, creepy picture is gone. Maybe I decided, nah, I want to add that back in. So I undo, he's back in there. I'm gonna refresh. Oh, the users don't see that I've added the picture back in. That is because the changes that are made to the site, the editing that's done to the site, all of that does not appear to the users until you have hit the publish button again. So while the work that you're doing, the editing that you're doing, the building that you're doing is being saved, it is not being published. So there's two ways of doing that. So you're building and you're editing, and your fellow editors are building and they're editing, but until one of you publishes again, the audience will not see any additional changes that were made to the site. So if I publish it again, and my audience shows up, hey, the picture's been re-added to the site. All right, so that is how you publish a site, unpublish a site, and some of the options that are involved with publishing. And we also covered how new content is presented to your audience, aka hitting that publish button again after you've added more content.